Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm MICHY'S, this is Blue Lions TV, and welcome to the match preview of our upcoming game tomorrow against West Ham in a big London derby. Now, you might be wondering, Nini, why are you in such a good mood today? I'll let you guys know something. Today, I finally copped me a pair of Gamma Blues. Now, you guys, I've wanted this pair of shoes since I was young. I was broke. I didn't have the funds to get it, but literally 6 years in the making, I finally got them. So what can I say? I'm happy. Of course, tomorrow I'm flying off to Amsterdam. Don't worry though, I'll still be producing videos when I'm out in Amsterdam. There's still going to be a match review and there's still going to be a player ratings video. I'm going to Dam because it's going to be my birthday, so I was just like, you know what, let me get out of the country, let me do something a bit different. So I'm really excited, you guys, but again, I'm really waffling on right now. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Today's video is brought to you by the OneFootball app. Download the OneFootball app. It's the best time to do it before a match day. I'm constantly stressing that. Give the app a go and see how you find it. It's the best opportunity. And final plug out the way, you guys, but of course, massive Black Friday sales on the Club Mega Store. 25% off all club items. You can best believe that I've already caught me a few things. I've got something for my dad and I've got something else for myself to add to my collection. It's the best time to get something right now because if you want to get gifts for Christmas or even get something for yourself, get it below. You'll find the links in the description below. And without wasting any more time, let's get straight into things, starting with the press conference. Getting straight into the press conference, Lampard confirmed that Tammy Abraham won't be playing in tomorrow's game, which is unfortunate. Now, journalists tried to find out whether Giroud or Mitchell would start ahead of him, which was kinda pointless because Lampard said, why would he confirm the team on a Friday, the day before a game? It makes no sense. But you guys, we continue on and we find out that Unai Emery has been sacked by Arsenal today. Of course, Lampard was asked to give his thoughts and opinions on it, and he said that nothing is inevitable in football. Everyone works hard, but it can go one way or the other. But moving on, you guys, when he was asked about West Ham, Lampard simply said, fans will be fans. And you know what? You are never ever going to catch out Frank Lampard. It's impossible. The guy is too cool in every situation. But anyway, we continue on. Lampard saying that he does have a lot of respect for Pellegrini as he has worked under him during his time at Man City. I want to forget about that time. It still feels quite surreal that Lampard even played for Man City for a small period. Absolutely crazy. But we continue on, you guys. And of course, pressing issues concerning our defence. And Lampard, of course, was asked to give his thoughts and opinions on this matter. Lampard did say that this doesn't concern him. He didn't like the final 20 minutes versus Valencia, but it's expected due to how we play and the nature of the team. Now, for me personally, you guys, I really wish that this question was more focused. It makes out that our centre-backs are the issues for why the team's defending poorly, when we know that it's a collective team effort. And at times, the team's defensive shape is not on point. I'm really hoping to get that, nuance from journalists, but what can you really expect? But you guys, for the final question, Lampard did state that he isn't too impressed with the team's conversion rate this season. He said that it isn't great. It's something he is aware of. There's room for improvement, and you know what? I agree with that. Due to how we play, we do create tons of very good scoring opportunities, and I personally feel like we aren't taking our chances enough. Now, most of the time it comes down to the lack of inexperience from certain players in front of goal, and at times it's because of a lot of the players in the team just aren't known for getting goals. So, you know what? Hopefully that does improve. But to be honest, I feel like the only improvement we will see in those areas is if we sign players in the market. So January is going to be big, you guys. In December, we're going to find out from Kaz whether our appeal is going to be overturned. And let's hope that's going to be the case. But anyway, that does end the press conference. We move straight on to the predicted lineup part for today's video. Then following that, we end things with a tactical segment where I'll break down West Ham, I'll focus on what we need to do to beat them, and I'll give my score prediction. Now, we move on to the predicted lineup part for today's video. I envision us using two different teams. Let's start with the first one, and as you guys can see beside me, I've gone for a back four of Emerson, Tomori, Zuma and Reese. I want to see this back four. I think against West Ham, it's the perfect opportunity to see these guys play together. In midfield, I've been a bit controversial. I've gone for Cover and Kante together. I think Jorginho needs a bit of a rest. You know, he's been playing non-stop every single time, and I like to see how Cover and Kante play together. As you guys can see, this formation is a 4-2-3-1. I have Mason Mount playing as our cam, and alongside him, Christian Pulisic, Willian. And up front, I've gone for Michy Batshuayi, and the only reason for that, you guys, is because in a formation like this, we need an advanced style of forward, someone that's going to make runs in behind. And against West Ham's very fragile defensive line, which can become susceptible to being exposed time and time again, the movement from Michy is going to be important. If I could pick the team for tomorrow, this would be the lineup I use. I think that this brings us the best balance, and I think right now, balance is the most important thing. I like us to have an approach where we're thinking about prevention instead of reacting to defensive situations. I think at times, you know, we can focus too much on the reactive style of defending. I want us to have an approach where we look to keep the ball, because I think we're best defensively whenever we have our key players keeping possession of the ball and controlling the game in the opposition's half. Now for the second predicted lineup, I've gone for a 4-3-3. The backline I've used is Emerson, Tomori, Zuma and Reece. Yeah, I know I'm being very optimistic, but if there is going to be a perfect time to see this back four, I think tomorrow's game is the best opportunity. In midfield, again, I've gone for Mason, Cover and Kante. I was thinking at first maybe Lampard may decide to use Jorginho over Cover, but I think with Cover's recent form right now, he's so important in helping us turn defence into attack. Obviously, Mason being part of the midfield three means that he does have that goal scoring threat we need, and at times we can transition to a 4-2-3-1, so we do get that tactical fluidity and that tactical flexibility. And up front, I've gone for Olivier Giroud. Now, the reason for this is that with Giroud being the target man, he could potentially hold the ball up and allow a lot of runs in behind. Maybe this way, Mason Mount has more license to push forward, leaving his midfield lines, because Giroud is going to be the guy he can link up with, play alongside, and that way the rest of Pulisic and Willian can hopefully get in the final third and do what they normally do. And of course, for the fullbacks, against a team like West Ham that will look to play without the ball for a while, we need fullbacks who are good on the ball. You know, that game against Valencia really highlighted how we can become susceptible to overloads and counterattacks if we don't have the right fullbacks to use for the game. So I'm hoping to see Reece and Emerson. Lampard, it's going to be my birthday. I want Reece and Emerson together in the team. And you guys, that's going to be me for the predicted lineup part. We end things with the tactical segment. I'm going to discuss West Ham. I'll break them down, how we need to beat them, and the score prediction at the end. Now, we move on to the final segment for today's video. That's the tactical segment, and I'm going to break down and discuss what we need to do against West Ham to pick up all 3 points. Now, as you guys can see on screen, I see West Ham lining up in a 4-1-4-1 formation. Now, off the ball, I see them reverting to a 4-4-2. So, of course, that's going to be Rice with Noble moving back, Antonio pushing up alongside Haller, Snodgrass moving alongside Cresswell, and Anderson or Yarmolenko dropping deeper, creating a 4-4-2. Now, with that defensive structure, I see West Ham using a mid to low block, so of course, let's move the forwards back. And there's a strategy behind why West Ham want to play like this. By setting up off the ball like this, they're hoping to compress the spaces out wide. These areas here, you guys. And they want to create pressing traps by creating the overloads in the wide areas. Now, I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how this looks exactly. Let's say, for example, we have the ball down the right-hand side. Reece is on the ball. Of course, with him having the ball down the right-hand side, Kante is naturally going to support him. Willian's going to try and take out the winger by moving more in the half space, and maybe Mason Mount might even come and help out as well. Now, here's what West Ham are going to do. As you can see, Cresswell will most likely pick up the run by Willian. Snodgrass moves tight alongside Reece. Of course, that way then they can use the striker and Antonio moving alongside Kante to go man for man. And by doing this, you guys, this way they have the space and the freedom here. They have that spare extra man that can sweep up any danger left and behind. And of course, that's how they create the overloads, having that spare man available. Let's say the ball then finds Rice. Antonio makes a run in behind in this area, and boom. And that's how I see West Ham trying to stifle our passing game on the ball. And finally, the last thing we need to expect from West Ham is how we press them in their half. Now, with West Ham, I see them creating a makeshift back three or back four in that sense, and their game plan is going to be to have Fredericks, and their game plan is going to have Fredericks being the free man out wide to become that passing option. Balbuena, Ogbonna, Cresswell moving in infield alongside the defence, with Rice being the guy just ahead of that back three. Now, of course, by playing like this, you guys, Antonio will then have the license to push forward a bit more, Haller moving closer to him, and of course you can just see West Ham spreading further wide as well. And that's how West Ham are going to look to beat our press to create attacks of their own. Now, as you guys can see with the press, we're a team that likes to take the front foot, you know? If we're not careful, what we'll end up doing against West Ham is leaving the spaces in behind our midfield lines. Now, of course, imagine Kante, Cover pushing further forwards. West Ham will look to use the likes of Haller and Antonio, especially in the wide areas. And they're going to hope their front two holds onto the ball. That way they get support from guys like Snodgrass or Anderson in the wide areas. Now, I know I'm making it sound like West Ham are some incredible team. The thing with West Ham is their major bottleneck is the lack of intensity in their press. I don't think it's good enough. Pellegrini has been here for a long time now, and I personally feel like there must be some issues with West Ham's training sessions, because in the Premier League right now, you need to cover distances very quickly, you need intensity, you need players getting tight, showing aggression, and that's one thing that West Ham lack in abundance. Now, let's focus on us, and what can we do to break down West Ham and get those 3 points in tomorrow's game? Well, the most important thing we need to do is constantly move the ball from left to right. We need to be quick, we need to be sharp, and that's how we beat West Ham's pressing traps in the wide areas. Now, let's look at this scenario again from a different perspective. Now, let's say the ball is down that right hand side with Reece being in the final third, William moving in the half space to attract a West Ham player. Of course, maybe Mount becoming a passing option as well, and N'Golo Kante being there as well. Now, of course, the spare man in midfield is going to be important. So let's say the ball's down the right hand side, Cover being the spare man will be important in switching the play to the opposite flank. Same thing for Kante, vice versa. And the thing with us is that we have the quality. We have players that are good in very tight spaces. They're very press resistant. And if we can get that ball and obviously switch it to the opposite flank, where we have Pulisic here, hopefully Emerson supporting him as well, well then you force the West Ham wingers to have to retreat and do their defensive actions, and they've shown time and time again that they cannot do it consistently. Most times, in fact, they do not get tight enough to either helping out their fullback or closing down or marking their man. And of course, you guys, let's say that we've left Anderson behind in the dust, Pulisic moving in field, Emerson being the fullback out wide, and Cover becoming a passing option in this area here, you guys. But the important thing of doing this is that now we create overloads of our own. Now we can go 2v1 against West Ham. And I feel like if we constantly just move the ball from left to right, speed, incision, quickness, we can catch West Ham out. What tends to happen as the game goes on is their attacking players start to get tired. And once they get tired, you guys, the gaps between the rest of the team and the striker become even bigger. And I feel like Zuma's going to have a lot of fun against Haller tomorrow. You know, Haller is a physical presence in the air, one of the best aerial presence strikers in Europe right now. Zuma's a complete colossal at defending aerial balls, so that's going to be a very fun battle to see. And I like to see that being the only thing that West Ham can do. Of course, you guys, with how tired the forward players are going to get, the gaps between, and say it with me, the gaps between the lines here are going to become even bigger. And this is going to be crucial, you guys. This is going to be important. What we need to see is constant movement from guys like your Mason Mounts or any other attacking players in these areas. And the reason for that, you guys, sorry, let me just put that back here again. The reason for that, you guys, is that, you know, with the West Ham's defensive line having not enough protection. You know, Rice can't do it all by himself. There's going to be opportunities for runs in behind their defensive line. From Pulisic, from Mason Mount, from the striker up front as well. I don't know why Tammy's there. Apologies, you guys. That should be someone like Michy Batshuayi instead. But again, it doesn't really take away anything from what I'm speaking about. You know, these gaps between the lines only open up even more. creating running opportunities in behind for our attacking players. And I feel confident about us getting the 3 points against West Ham. The only thing we need to worry about is pressing traps a tiny bit, but I think we're good enough to get past that. And the last thing is set pieces. You know, West Ham are good in the air. Against Tottenham, they showed that, so we need to keep our concentration up. We need to be aware. And my score prediction, I'm going for a 3-1 win to us. And in the comment section below, you guys, give me your thoughts and opinions. Do you see us winning this game? Do you feel confident? Make sure you let me know. On that note, you guys, I'm going to keep things moving and wrap things up. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm MICHY'S, this is Blue Lions TV, signing out.